On the beginning, my name is Paulina Konarska and I'm 27, so I'm quite old here. At first, I want to thank you, all speakers, for your inspiring me and provide me to better work in my association. And I hope my speech will provide you to better work as well and will inspire you. And I have a great pleasure to show you my association and my country. My association name is PoMOC, Mary Immaculate Association. And what is very interesting, the word PoMOC, we write it together, and PoMOC mean help. But the other meaning, if you separate these two words, po and moc, it's mean we get for help, we get for power, and we get for power from God, from Jesus. And it needs to be like this kind of huge power to work, huge power to prevent, huge power to work with human trafficking. So how is the beginning of my association? The initiation of the work is Congregation of the Sister Mary Immaculate, founded in the 19th century in Wrocław. The charism of the congregation is to work for the benefits of women. PoMOC Association was discovered by very special need in Katowice. In 1998, the president of Katowice applied to the Mother of the General Assembly to delegate one of the sisters to create alternative for women in crisis situation and offer practical help in atmosphere of mutual respect, discretion, and approval. And there were two sisters who discovered our association. It's Sister Anna Bauchan, who took over the duties and of the head of association together with the Sister Barbara Zawiła. And this association is one of the few organizations in Poland, and the only such of organization in southern Poland, which take action to prevent human trafficking and provide comprehensive assistance for abused women, victims of violence, and victims of human trafficking. So we exist since 2001. And we help women and women with their children. We don't have men, unfortunately. So that was the first words about association and how is the situation of human trafficking in Poland. So Poland is the country where the destination for victims, especially in Romania, Bulgaria, Ukraine, Vietnam, Philippines, Moldavia, Belarus, and Russia. And in 2013, we helped more foreigners than Polish people. For 219 victims, we had 29% of Romanian, 11% of Bulgarian, 10% of Vietnam, 5% Ukrainian, and only 50% of Poles. Except that Poland is the origin of victims for countries such as Germany, Belgium, Croatia, Finland, France, Ireland, Italy, Japan. And it's not only the prostitution, it's, I think, the most human trafficking, Polish human trafficking, are the forced labor in country, in Germany, Belgium, Italy. And also we are the transit for victims from Bulgaria, Ukraine, Moldavia, Lithuania. And who are the Polish victims? Actually, the Polish victims are women, men, children from different environments. And the group of the most danger are the young people under 30, people who would like to work abroad and earn money and don't really know the situation, how is it abroad, and they don't know specification of the human trafficking and how to recognize human trafficking. Women, girls who would like to work in sex business, because at the first sometimes at the first they want to work in the sex business and they are kind of their choice, but after they start to be victims of human trafficking. And there are people which are in difficult situation of life. The youngest victim was 9 years old, the oldest victim was 59 years. And that's kind of official group of danger. But what I discovered during my work in association is that it's not really depend of the money, or you are poor or rich. The group of most danger are the girls who never be in love from her family, who never take love from her family. And usually, I think it's 70% of girls from prostitution, they were abused in the childhood from her fathers or friends of fathers' mothers. So after this kind of experience, it's much easier for them to be a victim of human trafficking because they don't have support from the family, they don't have support from the base, so it's easy to get in love or it's easy to get inside the problem. So how is our response? How we work with human trafficking or women in the need? We have few areas of operation. It's street working, consultative point and office, 24-hour center, readaptation housing, and we do preventive activities and trainings. And I would like to tell you a few words about every of this area. So first, it's street working. We work in the streets of Katowice. And we go to establish the main contact, understanding the needs of benefits, and giving them an information where to get a help. We are more campaigning the prostitution, the girls, and it's when I ask my friend who were a street worker, because I haven't been a street worker, unfortunately she said that it's not so often when the girls getting out from the streets. Unfortunately, they prefer to stay there and to work because they are forced by mafia or forced by their husbands or families. So it's more supporting and campaigning than really take them from the streets in Poland, in Katowice. The other area is our shelter, and it's the place where I work. And on the first picture, you can see me painting the the walls with one of the inhabitants. In 2004, we opened a center in Katowice, which offer a comprehensive assistance, which takes social, material, therapeutic, psychological, spiritual, and practitioner in supporting group. And I think our shelter is very special, and I really like work there, and I really like the way we work, because we are more focused to campaign the inhabitants than do the things for them. So our social and material help, we're just campaigning them. We are not doing the stuff for them. We just like going to office or doing stuff, like not like teaching them how to do that in the future. And very special thing is spiritual and practical in support group, because if we work there, we cannot be therapist for them. So we're doing kind of like me, art therapeutic lessons, art therapeutic activities, and it's kind of soft way to work with victims. But what I saw, not every victim is ready to work with psychotherapist or work with police, they need time to get used to the situation. And art therapy or spiritual things are kind of soft way to make them open their hearts, to make them open their stories. And after like few weeks, they are ready to have like more specific work. We also have our consultative point. Because of the shelter, it's like we hide the shelter and we don't give the official address of the shelter. The consultative point is official point of our organization, and it's all free of charge. And it's open for everyone. It's not only for our inhabitants. And even sometimes I send my friends or girls who I meet on the streets that they can use our consultative point for legal advice, individual therapy, professional activation, and help to find work, courses and trainings. And also we do a lot of education and preventive activities trainings. And as you ask how to work with police and if they are working with human trafficking and help to work with human trafficking, we do also activities and training for border guards and for police. And it's very good for them because they get acknowledged how to deal with human trafficking. For example, it's a very great example how do our trainings looks like. It's not only knowledge which we gave to the police. One of the exercises which Magda do with Sister Anna, it's let them police sit around and tell them, please close your eyes. And now imagine one of your most secretly thing about which you don't want to speak. It's like the victim, they don't really want to speak about their problems on the beginning. But police, usually they pushed to give more information. So imagine when these people are sitting around and they imagine this problem, this secret, and Magda is going just after them, and she said, now I will give you 1 minute, and after I will show one of you who will tell us loud this problem, this is your secret. And of course they are very, very excited, and actually they're very scared to speak. And after we ask, okay, so what you were feeling? What were your feelings? Of course, we didn't feel very good. We didn't feel comfortable. So yes, we have a kind of soft way to work with victims, to work with police, to work with all institutions. And I think it's very important preventive activities. And other story from this kind of activities is that once to our consultative point call a prostitute who had a contact to PoMOC, to our association, from her client. And this client, this man, had an information about our association because he were in prayer days doing by Sister Anna. And it's information who gives to the man. It's very strange, and maybe it's not very, I shouldn't be proud of that because I am Catholic, and he take this information from the church and he were the client of the prostitute, but still, he get the information. And I would like to share a short story of one of girl who lived in our shelter and how we work with her. She was a victim of human trafficking she was recruited in Poland to England to take a fake marriage. That was an idea from her boyfriend, actually, to take a fake marriage in England with one Pakistan man. But during her stay there, she recognized that the people want to sell her because she was shown to other men, and she ran away. And she found one woman who were Polish in the shop and asked her to call the police. And with this, Ola, it was amazing help because we cooperate with other institutions like IOM, who bring her to Poland, with KCIK, and with Renate, who gave them money for rent a flat, for all stuff in the flat. So she take a comprehensive help from us also. She lived in our shelter, it was around 7 months, and during this time we find her work, we find her professional courses of cooking, and actually she is the person with whom I work in arte therapy, and the work was very specific, and the work was giving a results. And also the prayer meeting, because she was very closed for help. She didn't want to speak about her situation. Yeah, of course, it's only one story, and I have more of this kind of stories, but I need to finish. So, yes, this is our website. Thank you.